Alright, playing some Mtg Arena, playing blue-black control. Enjoying this deck. It's a very, very budget version of blue-black control. I didn't have any wild cards left and I got around to building it. I just threw together my best collection of blue-black control cards, but the build turned out pretty well. It's competing at the gold level without much difficulty. And yeah, let's see how it runs here. Playing in a quick constructed tournament against players of equal rank to myself. So the matches are generally pretty interesting, although you never know. Opponent leads on a Desert of the True. We'll lead on a Swamp. Desert of the True could signal any number of things. Double Plains could be Knights. No, tokens. We're looking at tokens on the other side there. So often the most important thing by far in this match is to make sure to counter their Anointed Processions. We don't have a counter spell in hand yet that can deal with those things, but we need to do our best to try to find one by turn 4. Okay, not going to complain about a treasure map. That's the Desert of the Indomitable. Okay, so yeah, opponent on some sort of white-green build here. We'll stick the treasure map. Unfortunately, we did never manage to find that counter spell, so if the opponent does stick a procession here, it can be very bad news for us. Simply because in blue-black, we don't have a ton of good ways to deal with opposing enchantments. Shauna Sisei's Legacy, so this is the more aggressive version of the deck. Can't say I'm too unhappy about that. Hieroglyphic Illumination, I need more removal right now, so unfortunately Hieroglyphic Illumination I have to scry to the bottom. We'll take one here from the Priest. Let's see, yeah, I'm just going to map again right away. Cast Down. Cast Down can't target Shauna, but it can target other creatures that my opponent might play, so I will pick that up for now. Let's see, how do I want to play out this turn? I think I'm just going to play another Dust Legion Zealot. See what that pulls up for me. Okay, so my win condition. A little early to be seeing the Elder Dinosaur. Nothing left to do except stick this Submerged Boneyard and pass from there. Things could be going better. They could be going worse. Ixalan's Binding for our treasure map, I assume? Yep, that's totally fine. And then an attack with the Anointer Priest, which we won't block. Cool. Draw an Opt for the turn. So, let's lead with this Opt. We find just a Swamp, which is not terribly useful to us at the moment. Vizier of Many Faces, that's an interesting one. We could use it to make a copy of Shauna, and ours would be stronger than theirs. But I think for now, I'm just going to... Okay, if I play the Kimena's Awakening, let's think this through. I've got 5, 6, 7 permanents. Kimena's Awakening will make 8. Next turn I can definitely hit the City's Blessing. So I think, yeah, I will play the Awakening here. And just really hope that this helps me find something like a Golden Demise or a Rags to Riches as soon as possible. Because those are the cards I'm really looking for here. Regal Caracal is a bit annoying. It pumps pumps this guy up to a 5/5 is what I'm trying to say. And lets my opponent attack in for 6 here. But on the bright side, if nothing else, we can now Vizier of Many Faces the Regal. Okay, Spell Swindle, not exactly a great time to see that. Draw for the turn and find, ooh, a Ravenous Chupacabra. Okay, so Ravenous is going to be a really good way for us to deal with the Shana here. For now, I think my play is just going to be this. Vizier of Many Faces copies the Regal Caracal. Cast down. Kill my opponent's Regal Caracal. We hit the City's Blessing now. We have Ravenous Chupacabra to deal with the Shana. We have life gain possibilities with our cats here. Overall, I think that we're looking to turn the corner. Ixalan's Binding, you know, that does weaken this cat plan, but I'm happy to get rid of that card. If opponent, okay, so opponent attacks in with these two. I'm just at this point happy to throw away my my Dusk Legion Zealots. Even for just a point of life here, I'll get rid of one. That's totally fine by me. Oh right, I can't actually get Shana with the Ravenous because it can't be the target of abilities that I control. I forgot about that little detail. That's okay. I think all that we need to do here is stick our big dinosaur. Now we do have to be careful. Our opponent does... Oh, does he have any spell deserts? No, actually my opponent doesn't have anything to do with their lands. So that's all well and good. Lyra Dawnbringer is totally fine. It does die to the Ravenous Chupacabra, so it can resolve. My opponent decides not to attack with anything. And we just go back to our turn. Awesome. Untapping with the Nehazal always feels great. Before we draw for the turn, let's opt and see if we want to get anything off the top of the library. Cast down. You know what? I'm fine with drawing cast down. It doesn't kill either of my opponent's bigger creatures, but it's still useful in its way. Our draw for the turn is Supreme Will, which is not bad at all. Our play for the turn is the Ravenous. Which kills the Lyra Dawnbringer. And then we can just end this turn. If our opponent has a big play like another Lyra, well, we have the Supreme Will for that. A Chalet Voice of Plenty. We can't stop that from resolving. We can just cast it down, though. So that's totally fine. Oh, we can't cast down because it's legendary. It's actually tougher than I thought. Okay. So, yeah, Chalet resolves. Let's go through combat. End of turn, Supreme Will. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. What do we find? Ah, Tetsamok. Tetsamok is perfect. It's going to allow us to kill the Chalet. Essence Scatter is nice as well. Draw for the turn. We find a island. Alright. So play the island. It'd be nice to be able to kill more than one thing with the Tetsamok, but because of Chalet giving all of my opponent's dudes hexproof, we actually can't. That's fine though. So reveal Tetsamok from our hand. put a counter on Shale. Play Tetsamok, which killed Shale. Cool. Still don't quite have good attacks, but we will next turn. I guess it's not necessarily true. We do have a good attack given the cast down. We could attack with Nehazal, and if there was a quadruple block, then the cast down would be just fine. Carnage Tyrant is an interesting one for my opponent. Can't counter it. It'll have to die to Tetsamok. But yeah, it certainly resolves. Luckily, we've got big creatures of our own to keep it at bay. But this is going to drag the game out for a little while, to be sure. We are just drawing so many cards a turn, though, that I'm not too worried about anything yet. Oh, right. An Entrancing Melody is very nice. So Shauna here has a converted mana cost of 2, right? Let me just, sorry, my... Yeah, 2. Okay, so let's just make sure this works. Can't be the target of abilities your opponents control. Entrancing Melody is not an ability. So we'll play Entrancing Melody for 2. Take control of Shauna. Cool. Then we'll go to combat. Attack with Tetsamok. See what my opponent thinks about that. They just chump block. And we end the turn. Ixalan's Binding. First of all, Nehazal's ability resolves. Secondly, we can cast Spell Swindle. To get ourselves 4 treasure tokens. And then another Shauna from our opponent. Well, we can just counter that. We do have to use one of these treasure tokens that we've just produced. And that's the game. Cool, so blue-black control doing control-y things. We survived the first couple turns despite some reasonable pressure from the white-green deck. We then started drawing a lot of cards, found some powerful win conditions, faded their top-end Carnage Tyrant, and won the whole thing. Thanks for watching.